Joaquin's Journey, a story by Shant and Agnes. In the beginning, there was a little boy named Joaquin, who was a shy little boy, but enjoyed going on hikes, especially with his friends. At the time, Joaquin had just turned 5 and was hanging out with his friends Marcus and Carissa. And for his birthday, they decided that they were going to go on a long adventure to climb this very big mountain called the Mountain of Motor Learning. But first, they had to visit the special hiking coaches Shant and Agnes because they had never done a hike like this before and they were not ready, so they had to get prepared and improve their motor skills.
Chapter 1. The Goal. As a 5-year-old boy, he should be able to swing, climb, and stand on one foot for 10 seconds or longer. Joaquin was not able to do this. He had to go to the hiking coaches to learn how to swing, climb, and stand on one foot. The coaches tested him using a high-tech hiking protocol detector called a TGMD3. This was to see if he was ready for the journey. It was to prepare him for the long hike up the big mountain of motor learning. The 3 goals that Joaquin focused on was his ability to hop over big rocks, chop down trees that were in his way, and throwing rocks into a lake.
Chapter 2. The Activities. In order to help Joaquin reach the goals of his journey, they set up an obstacle course for him to complete. The first obstacle course was jumping over foam circles that were staggered across the floor. Some were higher than the others, so Joaquin had to jump extra hard in order to clear the foam. They told him to reach for the sky and to make sure to land on both feet so he doesn't hurt himself. In this video, we have the first set of activities that we set up for Joaquin, the staggered foam pads on the floor. We see that there are different heights across different lengths throughout the course, and we instruct Joaquin to bend at the knees and jump high up with both feet together and land on both feet, as well as reaching up into the sky. We see that he doesn't follow the instructions properly, but he still does a good job and clears the foam pads. The key here is to work on Joaquin's ability to land on both feet and make sure that he's using both arms and reaching up for the sky each time he jumps. In this video, we have some more training for Joaquin to be able to jump over the rocks and the bushes. So we set up a course where Joaquin had to jump across the floor to a certain destination on the other side. We instructed him once again to use both arms and reach for the sky as he was jumping. He does much better than he did before, and he's able to land with both feet. But he is still a little stumbly and doesn't land properly at times, but this is okay because it varies with motor development amongst children. Chapter
3. Activities Part 2. The next set of training, which the coaches set up, included a 2-hand strike of a stationary ball, which would prepare him to chop down trees and bushes that might get in his way of the hike. Second, the coaches set up a baseball tee and had him practice striking the ball against the wall, making sure he rotated his body during the swing. The coaches had to cue him to keep the baseball tee up into the air and make sure to rotate his hips. This was his favorite thing to do, and he was glad he listened to his friends, Carissa and Marcus, to prepare for his journey to go on the hike. In the second obstacle course, there was a baseball tee that was set up, and Joaquin had to hit the baseball off the baseball tee. We had to instruct him to rotate his hips and keep his eye on the ball, and make sure to keep the baseball up towards the sky. He did this many times, and at the end, he was very successful at hitting the baseball. This would prepare him to chop the trees that he would confront while hiking.
Chapter 4. Ready to climb. Joaquin's training process was short but successful. He had a hard time in the beginning listening to his coaches, but with the help of his friends and instructors, he was able to prepare properly for his journey to the top of the mountain. At first, he was hesitant to participate in the training because he was shy, had low self-esteem, and he had some memories of failure in the past. These were some individual constraints that he displayed to begin with, which we had to work with and help him improve on. Towards the end, he was able to overcome his fears of participating in big groups, and he and his friends improved their skills tremendously. They were very ready to climb the mountain of motor learning. In this video, we see Joaquin tossing the beanbag with Carissa, successfully using the underhand method. He is not able to catch it very well, but he is participating in a group, meaning that he had overcome his shyness and fear of failing in front of others.
Joaquin had built up individual constraints from negative past memories of playing in big groups and falling down in front of everyone. But throughout the hiking obstacle courses that the coaches made for him, he was able to build up his self-esteem and continue playing in big groups and not being afraid. Notes from the coaches. In the beginning, the coaches didn't know what to expect, and they were reluctant to take on such a big task of training the wild Joaquin and his friends Marcus and Carissa. They knew that training Joaquin and his friends would be a big challenge, and they began prepping themselves with motor learning tools for success. By prepping Joaquin with all the skills he needed, he would be able to climb the big mountain of motor learning, overcoming any obstacles in his way. In the end, they learned that it takes a lot of time and patience to work with such a young adventurer. In the end, Joaquin was able to go on his big hike and climb the mountain of motor learning.
He was able to chop down big trees, jump over rolling rocks, hop over tiny bushes, and skip rocks at the lake on top of the mountain. At the end, Joaquin was ready for his journey to the mountain. The mountain of motor learning. The end.